Hello fellow hunters and welcome to today's video. Since I found the final mature trophy for the hunting lodge in the pheasant hell of Czechia Marshlands, one thing was bothering me about my otherwise quite decent trophy collection. And that's the topic of today's video, the weight of my legendary bison. Although it's a mature specimen, I think 681 kilos is a bit low, as I've seen normal ones weighing significantly over 700. I've tried every now and then to find a better bison, but all the legendary ones were only between 500 and 600 kilos. So now I'm trying brute force and a lot of grind. At the same time I used the chance to update my old guide video to the bison locations, because I found a more efficient routine that saves a lot of time. The whole thing also generates a lot of credits. When I started recording I was at 2.6 million. After the required footage was complete, my balance was 2.8 million. Overall, it's not as rewarding as the Roosevelt Forest moose and bear routine, but it's still another good alternative. Now it's time for some hunting, so let's get started. First, a quick info about the time slot and my loadout. Everything I show happens in the afternoon time slot. I use a 30-06 large caliber rifle as my main weapon and a light caliber 243 model as my secondary. Since efficiency is in the focus today, I don't want to mess around with a bow or crossbow. If I find a cougar on the way, I can hunt it quickly with a small caliber and collect a few bonus credits. Bandera region in general has 4 good bison locations that are relatively effective. Today I call them Spot 1, 2, 3 and 4. For Spot 1, I travel to the northwestern camp and let my dog wait at the tent immediately. To the east you will find a ridge and behind a small canyon. Bison can be found here frequently, you just have to look a little closer sometimes when they are hiding in the vegetation. The spot is extremely easy and can be repeated quickly, my personal favorite. Besides bison you will often find bobcat, coyote and cougar. Spot 2 is at the northeastern camp. Sometimes you can already see a bison from the main cabin. The way from the tent to the east leads to a larger canyon. A minor downside is that the shooting distance can be higher when the bison spawns in the northeastern part of the area. Overall, it's still a good and reliable location where you can also find pronghorn, deer and elk. Spot number 3 is near the southeastern camp. Here you have to walk in northeastern direction over a small ridge to a plateau. In general, I recommend to leave the dog at the tent and move carefully, sometimes animals are quite close. As a bonus you will find elk and deer if you are looking for them. These places turned out to be an efficient route for me. The walking distances are short, the effort is low and you can repeat it quickly. Spot 4 is a bit more annoying, I would call it optional. You have 2 camps from which you can start. In both cases, the distance to the target area is quite long. Personally, I don't feel this spot is very efficient, so I often skip it. You waste a lot of time on running around, maybe finding a bison that may be legendary. It could be worth it if you're also looking for desert bighorn sheep or deer, but there are better locations for these animals. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I made about 200k in total while recording for this video. These animals don't like me that much and I very rarely find legendary specimen. But in the end I was a little lucky after all that grind. At Spot 1 a mature legendary bison was waiting for me right behind the edge. They are rarely that close. Just to be safe I set a second shot and the animal was claimed quickly. And finally, 768 kilos. I think that's okay for a legendary trophy from the heaviest animal in the whole game. I have no idea if it's near the maximum weight or if they grow beyond 800. I've never seen one that heavy. So this problem is now finally solved after a long time. The situation with my moose trophy is quite similar, but I think even normal specimen over 700 kilos are extremely rare. The quest for a legendary heavyweight of that size will probably take a while. But that's a topic for another video. And that's it for today. I hope the update of the bison guide is helpful and you find your legendary giant if you still miss one in your collection. For questions and feedback leave me a comment below. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave me a like and subscribe. Thank you for your support.